Hello everyone, how are we doing today? Happy Monday to all. This is Toby with Birdsong Studios. Thank you so much for being here with me. I really appreciate your time, your energy, your attention, your openness to the messages here. Today we are looking at messages for the Starseeds among us, and I'm sorry for the long delay in bringing this portion to you. I know we did the Lightworkers reading last week, so here we are today with messages for the Starseeds. And we're going to start with the Starseed Oracle by Rebecca Campbell. But first, I am being reminded that in meditation earlier, as soon as I set the intention to connect in to my guides, the angels, into spirit and my cosmic family, immediately upon closing my eyes, I was there. And I was slightly taken aback by how quickly I felt that sense of peace and love and just this sense of relief, this sense of I can describe it as when you've had a long day at work and you come home and you change out of your work clothes and you put on something comfy, and just that sense of that energetic cleanse that happens, that the relief of the weight that has been removed from your shoulders is so profound that you can feel it immediately. That was the same sense that I had as soon as I entered into meditation. And the medicine, it's interesting. The message, which there's medicine in this message for you, was that my guides wanted me to share, was that this sense of relief and releasing of the burdens that we carry in the 3D is available to us to all of us in this instantaneous way, that it requires us to only allow ourselves to experience this by being aware of and not falling victim to. Okay, that's the word they're giving me, so that's the word I'm going to say. Not falling victim to the distractions that are presented in front of us on a constant basis, and the distractions then that we reach for in a seeking of relief from those burdens. The relief is actually found when we separate ourselves from the distractions and intentionally seek to connect with spirit, with God, our guides, with our cosmic family. That it is, I receive this vision of it just being on the other side. It's like a pushing back of the curtain that occurs when we separate ourselves from those distractions. And again, there was an emphasis on not only the distractions that are placed before us constantly in the outer world, but then the ones that we also reach for. And certainly part of that is from conditioning of this distracted state, of this constant stimulation. However, we have to take responsibility for when we reach for those things, when we allow them to enter into our energy, and with the understanding of the consequences that has. But again, the reminder that we merely must step away from those, and then the curtain can be pulled back and we are given that sense of relief and peace and ease and comfort and connection. Okay, So I hope that was helpful for someone out there. Okay. Feels like it was. So thank you again for being here with me today. I really appreciate you. I appreciate your energy here, and your willingness to participate in and really feel into these messages. It goes beyond listening, but really feeling into the messages that come through here. Okay, Spirit, so let's start with the Starseed Oracle. What do we have for our Starseed family today? What do they most need to know at this time, please, Spirit? I'm getting a reminder of the, it was a recent reading, I think it was for the water signs, but about these activations and light body activations that are coming through. And that how when we are in this distracted state, it may, I'm getting blocked or restrict us from being able to integrate these transmissions and activations. One more. Okay. Oh boy, we have Earth School and Surrender to the Sweetness. Excuse me. Venus energy, pleasure, joy, making love to life. That's Surrender to the Sweetness. And then we have an Earth School, life lessons, soul growth, higher learning. Yeah, and I just feel like I want to laugh, and I'm not sure why, but I guess because one of the big lessons of this Earth School that we are in, Starseeds, is surrendering to the joy and the pleasures that are available to us, and a need to not be so serious all the time. The energy is just so funny. That's, sorry, I don't know why, I just feel like giggling. So, but I think that's exactly the message, is that it's not necessary to know why. We don't have to assign a label or understand a reason for everything that we experience and that we seek. And so letting go of the seeking and just surrendering to the sweetness, to the joy, just to pleasure. It's the divine feminine energy that's associated with Venus energy as well. And being in the state of receiving, and in this state of receiving, and in this state of joy and love and just pleasure for the sake of pleasure. In that state, we are also able to receive and integrate these lessons that we are gaining here at Earth School. Sometimes in the seeking, we are looking so hard that we're not allowing ourselves to be guided towards the lesson that we're meant to learn. We are so intent upon analyzing a situation or seeking a certain bit of wisdom or knowledge that I'm getting this tunnel vision image where we're so focused in on this tunnel and what's directly in front of us, what our point of focus is, that we lose sight of everything that's around it, and we do not open ourselves up to being led by spirit, but by our cosmic family too. And this goes back to the message that came through for that mini reading that I posted for the 9th and the 10th. Allowing ourselves to be led, allowing ourselves to create the outline, yes, of our manifestations, and which I feel is written within the soul contracts that we brought with us here on this earth school, and however, leaving space for the divine to fill in, to paint in the full picture of that experience. Here's the surrender to the sweetness card. Look how beautiful that is. It's like I've never been to Hawaii, but it reminds me of images of Hawaii with the waterfalls and the pink flowers. It almost looks like bougainvillea. That tropic sense, but then with the planets in the background, and the lotus flowers as well, symbolizing rebirth and transformation. And then we have life lessons here on Earth School, and this refers back to that soul contract. This is why we incarnated here, Starseeds. We do have a mission here on Earth, but we also talked about that double mission in the Lightworkers reading, right? Our soul is asking us to take full advantage of all the lessons that are available here on Earth School, opening ourselves up to this wisdom. And see how the image is diving out of the stars, diving down to earth. But that's also surrender, right? When you dive into something, it's that free fall moment. Excuse me. There's growth in the leaping, but it's also surrendering into, there's that great sense of trust that you will be held and caught and that you will land safely. Excuse me. It's a beautiful card. Beautiful card. Okay, so let's look also, let's go to the Life Soul Vision Oracle by Romy Wyser. And let's see what we have for the Starseeds. I'm also getting this sense that as Starseeds, you know, part of, if not maybe the main portion of our mission here is in, I'm hearing, facilitating the awakening of New Earth. And so especially not right now, well, yes, especially right now, but in current events, certainly they've been going on for the past few years at a minimum, but this goes back to the distractions that we talked about, right? So we are meant to lead and show the way for this new earth, and in doing so, one of the most important lessons that we can bring to humans here in this earth school is one of perception and discernment and trust. So are we focusing so much on the distractions? And when I say distractions, let me be more clear that I'm talking about so many things that are going on in the world today. There's great tragedy for sure, and not to diminish that. But also to have an awareness of where the powers that Amanda Ellis says, where the powers that were. So I'm going to borrow her phrase and say the powers that were, because we are coming into power. We are taking back our power. We are standing in our power. And by doing so, we're leading other souls into this place of new earth. I see this as new earth, this place of where we understand that where our focus is what we experience. What is the saying? Where your focus goes, now I've lost it. I can't recall what that saying is. But the point is that what you focus on grows. So are we focused on the sweetness and the beauty that is available here on this earth, within nature, within our relationships with the people that we care for, within the oneness that exists amongst all of us? Or are we focused on the drama, the chaos, the lies, the manipulation, the lower frequency communication, visual signals is what I'm getting. So imagery, the verbal communication, the written communication, the imagery that is placed in front of us, these are distractions. These are the distractions I was referring to earlier on. These are the distractions that my guides were referring to in meditation. So are we focusing on that? Because if we are, it's that, remember the other part of that was the distractions block us from integrating these transmissions and activations. It's really important for us to remember that. That feels very, very, very important. The distractions, not only do they block us from integrating these activations and transmissions, they intentionally block us from activating from integrating the activations and the transmissions. Starseeds, it's very important for us to be discerning in what we are focusing on and what we are allowing into our energy fields, because we're not able to fulfill this mission and share the messages if we're coming from a place of fractured energy. And I think we also talked about, didn't we talk about with the light workers message about breaks in the auric field in the light body, about protecting our energy, protecting our energy fields. It is very important for us to be very, very aware and very discerning at this time, because our focus needs to be on surrendering to the sweetness, because it's still there. Yes, there is chaos, and yes, there is tragedy going on, and not to minimize the tragedy and what many humans and many of us in human form are seeing and experiencing, either in the collective or in our own individual lives. Even in that, how can we surrender to spirit? How can we surrender to the sweetness that still exists? it's very, very important for us to be discerning. It's very, very important for us to not get caught up in the distractions. And we're going to see, and as we are seeing, the distractions are going to, I'm hearing, amplify. They are going to increase exponentially, because it's taking more and greater, more chaos and greater I'm getting a dramatic flair to these distractions, to the communication, to the imagery, to the words, to the speech, to the sounds that are being put forth in order to distract us. It's being amplified, it's being increased exponentially, because it's taking more to pull us out of this state of surrender. Excuse me. It's taking more to pull us out of that because of the empowered state that we are moving into, because we are integrating these transmissions, these activations. We are sending, we are awakening, we are aware. We know what our mission is here, and we are here to fulfill it. We know what our mission is here, and we are here to fulfill it. We will be speaking out. We will be saying what needs to be said. We will be calling out the truth by calling out the manipulation, the lies, the distractions, the deception. But we need to be prepared for it. By doing so, the powers that were are becoming more and more desperate, because they're losing traction. So being able to separate ourselves from the distraction and allow that curtain to be pushed back. That curtain is is representative of the distractions, of the it's like a blackout curtain is what I'm seeing. And it's blocking us from, attempting to block us from the light and from those transmissions. And also, it has a dual purpose, to block us from receiving and to block us from sending out. So, when we separate ourselves from the distractions, we recognize them, we can push back the curtain and be in that state of peace and connection to divine love, to our cosmic family, to our guides, to the angels, and connection to the collective in sending out the messages that we are meant to send out, the messages that are part of this mission, the messages that allow us to lead into New Earth. Oh my gosh, we have sweet surrender again. Look at this, labyrinth of sweet surrender. Wow. And then we have Queen of Earth, nature's blessing. This is 27 and 3. 27 is 9, a multiple of 3. Sorry about the noise. I'm not sure what my cat's doing. Look at this. This is just absolutely reiterating and further confirmation of what we have here with these two cards. The bounty and the beauty of nature and nature's blessings, and connecting into that with the understanding of the oneness of all that is, the oneness of our connection to the cosmos, as well as Mother Gaia below us. And it is through our connection to both that we elevate, is what I'm hearing. But it is required that we surrender in. With the trust we talked about, to the lessons that are learned when we allow ourselves to experience all that is of Earth School. So it's not about the bypassing of the distractions. It's not about the bypassing of and not being aware of the chaos and the tragedy that is out there, but it is about it's about understanding how that is a part of the duality and polarity of the experience here on Earth School. But being able to balance that out, to see it, to witness it, and still to be able to recognize it, recognize the lessons within it, and then being able to surrender to the sweetness. Wow. Okay, big messages here today, Starseeds. All right, so I have a new deck, which I am absolutely falling in love with. So, actually, I apologized for this reading being late, but as always, everything is perfectly timed. This deck arrived late on Saturday, and I spent some time getting to know it yesterday and wanted to bring it forth for this reading for you Starseeds. This is the Age of Aquarius. Oh my gosh, look at this. The Age of Aquarius Tarot. We have, on the split, we have the Tower and we have the Fool. And we have, with the Tower, we have unexpected changes. We have, this feels representative of all the wild things going on in the 3D, in our in the external reality in this world. These major events that are happening. Again, just as with the earthquakes, there are major, massive tragedies that are associated with this. And it has massive impacts on humans in the local area and around the world. And it's important that we hold the light for people that are impacted by that, for those areas that are impacted by it. Because I do feel like they are victims of a well, maybe we'll hold off on that. What I'm getting is this is symbolic of this choice point, and I think we talked about that not too long ago, but this choice point of moving towards New Earth or staying attached to the manipulations and lies and deceptions that have created the foundation of the world we have been living in. The Fool is representative of a new beginning, being inspired to take the leap. So allowing the old structures to fall so that we are able then to create the new. All right. So that's just what we have on the split. Let me let her out. Okay. All right, Starseeds. What do we have here for you? What can we add to this conversation for Starseeds, please? Spirit, Cosmic Family. Six of Cups. Inner child work. Quiet reflection. What else do we have for the Starseeds here, please? Lots of water. We have water here, we have water here. Interesting. We've got this figure with the Nine of Cups in the water, just as we have here in the Labyrinths of Sweet Surrender. And I'm getting this sense, okay, so we have the Six of Cups, we have the Hanged Woman, and we have the Nine of Cups. And in the tarot, the Hanged Woman or Man symbolizes a new perspective, a moment of pause, and intentionally looking or looking to gain a new perspective on a situation or an emotional experience. Again, we've got this. She almost looks like she's in the water as well. Can you see that? Very similar to the Surrender card, as is the Nine of Cups. And then to start with, gosh, so much water, the Six of Cups, which is a sense of nostalgia or connecting to one's inner child, or I get a past life connection as well. And so, let me turn these back around for just a moment. I'll turn them back to face you in just a second. So I'm getting this sense of the lessons you've learned on this Earth School Starseeds. They have, and looking back across your life, this may be a time to reflect back. I think we are being invited to do that. To where we have it's a sense of looking back upon our lives with gratitude for the lessons we've gained, even through the hardest of times, the toughest of struggles, holding space for ourselves in holding space for the person we were during those times of struggle, holding space for the person who overcame those, who fought for themselves to work through those times of challenge, no matter how hard they were, who gathered up strength when they didn't think that the strength was even there. When the well felt empty, you dug a little bit deeper. Again, the water analogy. The importance of your emotions. And even more importantly, how you look back upon those times of struggle has a great deal of influence on your sense of satisfaction and fulfillment in yourself now. This is the perspective shift. And can you find gratitude in looking back on those difficult times? Can you find the wisdom in that? Can you if you struggle to find and to find gratitude for it, can you offer gratitude for yourself for having come through those times successfully? Because you're here now, and you may be in the midst of a struggle now, but remembering back to past struggles and recognizing the strength that it took to overcome those, to be here now, and then feeling into how it felt to get beyond those struggles, to get to the other side, and holding on to that feeling, that sense of accomplishment and determination and perseverance and resilience. And that is what's going to allow you to move through. If you're in a difficult time now, holding on to those and that feeling is going to allow you to move through this difficult time with more ease. But overall, we're at this point where we talked about a choice point. And one of the defining factors in which path you take is going to be the ability. We all have the ability to find this gratitude, but whether you make the choice to look back on those struggles from a state of gratitude and really feeling into the empowerment that you have now, or are you going to look back on those and feel as though well, it sounds kind of harsh, but I'm not sure how else to put it, but to be in a state of victimhood. And I don't mean to trigger anyone or to be harsh, but are we going to look, how can we shift our perspective? Because if you find this difficult, then there's more healing to be done there. But if you're here listening, I feel that even if you can't grasp onto the gratitude around those events or situations fully, there's a seed there. And this is where the surrender comes in. Surrender into the process of allowing that seed to germinate and grow and then blossom. But this perspective shift is very important as we move forward into New Earth. Because there will always be struggles, there will always be challenges, but our perception of those struggles and challenges and difficulties is what shapes our experience going forward. So that's for an individual level, but Starseeds as our mission here We are the leaders in this perspective revolution, is what I'm hearing. And this is what provides this divine fulfillment and this sense of it feels one of the important steps in even in being able to remove that curtain we talked about earlier. Okay, I think I'm going to leave it there. I hope you found this helpful. It felt like a very profound message to me. I hope that the energy of it will stay with you, and that the transmission of that is clear and you're able to receive that. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you again for your openness to these messages. I greatly appreciate your energy, your attention, your presence, your time. As always, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. My contact information is in the description box below. If you're interested in a personal reading, those are also available and can be linked, or our information for that is linked in the description box below. Otherwise, I hope you have a wonderful start to your week. And again, be very discerning in where your focus goes this week, Starseeds, because the distractions and the attempts to distract you from your mission are growing exponentially in the days to come. So with that, thank you so much, and I will be back again soon.